Hey guys, Spectrum here with another episode of How to Play Well with a Team with some domination on Village. Now, my opening route to A on this map involves capping A and then running to Pride Rock. Calling it Pride Rock from the jungle map on Black Ops just because it looks pretty much the same and you'll always find people up here. Reason being, it's a good spot. Unlike jungle, which looks directly down on B, this doesn't look directly down on flags. But it does something better. It actually provides a perfect spot for the kind of role I've adopted into my gameplay, which is instead of just sitting on flags and trying to look like the objective player, I'm playing objectively in a different light. Killing people in Call of Duty is not a sin. Getting a high KDR in a game is not a sin. If you sat there at the back of the map with Ghost on in Black Ops, you know, sort of looking at a doorway, waiting for people to come in while your team double capped, that's not helping the game in any way whatsoever. This, however, what I'm doing is I'm controlling those areas of the map where people are going to be sprinting through. I like to call them the fleshy parts of the map because there's no structure to them. They're not part of an objective. They're just the traffic areas. They're just the areas that people run through. They're just there for getting to places, and these are the areas of the map where people are easiest to kill because they're not expecting to get into gunfights, they're not ready for it, they're not set up with cover and such. It's called controlling engagement. It's the greatest tip I can give people. They're not going to be ready, you are ready, you're expecting them to come. It's a very, very efficient way to slay on this game. Find the areas of the map where people aren't expecting to find a gunfight and kill them while they weren't expecting it. It also helps the team because they're not going to get to flags like that. They're going to go back to the C spawn, back to the A spawn, wherever their one flag is, and they're never going to get to the flags. It's a very, very, very important strategy. I prefer seeing domination games where people have a score of something like 200 to 40, meaning there was only 2 flag caps needed to win the game. Because that means they played well. That means the enemy team did not get near the enemy, their flags to cap them. It was a well played game. Unfortunately, these guys seem to like running in packs, and they do manage to outnumber us in a couple of engagements. They outnumber me in a minute, but they come back, cap the B flag, and then I see the A's blinking, or it is in a minute anyway. At least I get a shout out that they're heading towards A, and yeah, there's a lot of them heading towards A. That's going to happen. Now, the disadvantage with playing with a team is that you can kind of rely on everyone to do well. At least with my team, they're all very aggressive players. Meaning, even if we get kill streaks at the same time, they will always get theirs in. And you'll see a lot of this game when I do, eventually get my attack choppers and whatnot. It takes forever to call them in. The problem with playing with a team is that a lot of you will get clashing kill streaks that you will spend time trying to call out. I remember in Black Ops, one of the big things is that if you ran with a team of 6, you had to have at least 2 people who just weren't running a Blackbird because you'd never all get the chance to call them in. In this game, it's the attack chopper. Everyone likes running the attack chopper because it's actually really powerful in this game, but you can't all call them in at the same time. Fortunately, Village is a good map for just all the assault kill streaks, so you can basically run anything for that slot and it'll do well because it's so open. People are used to all these open maps from Modern Warfare 2, and look here, I can't call my attack chopper in. They're used to all these open maps, things like Wasteland, things like Afghan and all that. They're not used to not being able to call them in. When they do call them in, they don't work. They'll just hover around buildings and not really do anything. They'll just pick off the people who are outside. I think Infinity Ward have purposely, constructed the maps like that to make it so that they're a bit more balanced. So that some maps kill streaks dominate, some of them they just don't. That leads me on to something I'm about to talk about. But in conclusion, to play on Village with a team, find your role in the team. If you're going to be a slayer, make sure that you're good at, slaying. If you're not so great at, kill whoring and such, become the flag capper. It's what a lot of people will do for their early COD games and such. it works for all, all game types, but you do need slayers on a team. People who will sit back and, pick people off across map, which is what you see me doing here. And then use assault streaks because they are so powerful on this map. Now, what I wanted to talk about was, I just saw the trailer for Infinity Ward's next maps for this game, the first DLC. Obviously, being Infinity Ward, they like to hype the game up, and they've done this well. They've made this very theatrical trailer for the 2 new maps, Liberation, and I forget what the Italian map is called, but I think it's called Plaza or something like that. But they're 2 very, very different maps. Liberation is a huge map by the looks of things, very open, much like Village. It looks like a air quote campy map. A lot of people don't like this. They don't like the fact that there's a map where you have to play strategic. A lot of people hate campers. Why? I don't understand it. Like, a lot of people think if you sit still for more than 2 seconds that you're a air quote camper. Well, I like to win, Rushing, not everyone's good at rushing. So what, people who aren't so great at the game, who, camp because that's what they're used to, picking people off at long range, what, they're supposed to feel bad about the way they play the game? No. That's not how it works. The whole point of this game is that you're allowed to do whatever you want. And why did the Predator go for me? I don't understand that, but it seems to be what happens all the time. Anyway, it seems like there's this kind of always constant battle in Call of Duty between camping and rushing. I personally hate rushers. Like, when I'm being killed constantly in the spawn by an enemy, that sucks, right? I hate being sprayed down by submachine guns because I'm trying to aim and because he randomly sprayed from the hip, he gets the kill. I don't like the way that works. That to me is annoying. So why should all the maps be, really tight-knit, really, forced into gunfights? Because not everyone's going to enjoy it. That's the whole point of Call of Duty, is that it's supposed to be, customizable. YouTube gameplay, you want it to be entertaining, but when you want to give out tips, you can't say, play like Sandy Ravage because he's good, but he's automatically natural and experienced, which you're going to have to spend 10 years doing. It doesn't make any sense. It's entertaining, yes, but it's not good for, helping people to get better. That's why, I like defensive play, because it's a lot easier to do, and, stackable kill streaks speed up the pace of the game, yes, but they help people who aren't that good at getting kill streaks going, because they get 5 kills, which is good, and then they get another 2 kills from the Predator, get a tank chopper up, which will get them their Reaper and such. So, rushing versus camping, I'll have to do a bigger video on this, maybe in my next gameplay where I do camp a little bit more, but it kind of annoys me that people are so down on the way people play this game. I mean, yes, if you sat at the back of the map not helping the victory, that's not helping. If you, playing defensively help the team win, it's perfectly fine, so stop whinging about it. Like, to me, it always seems that people who are whinging, the ones dying a lot. So I'd recommend, if you're whinging about anything in Call of Duty, it indicates that you're dying a lot to it, and it kind of makes you look like a bad player. I'm not, not trying to be mean, but it does in fact make you look a bit worse if you're whinging all the time, and it makes you look like you're dying a lot. But anyway, guys, that's the game. Hope you learned something from this and how to play on Village, and how to play better with the team. I'll see you next time. Bye.